Hey everyone, today we're kicking off a new series called Inside the Industry, and I'm joined by Noah, a new home sales consultant who's going to give us an inside look into what really goes on behind the scenes in new construction. From helping buyers find the dream home to navigating the building process, Noah's got some great insight to share. Let's dive in. Noah, thank you for sitting down with us today. So, what drove you into new construction?
Yeah, so I was actually a realtor previously.
Okay,
I was that did that for about a year. It was a really tough market to be honest with you.
sure.
So I had an inside connection. Been here for 6 months now, and I just love just the streamlined process we have. Makes it easier for myself, working with realtors, and our buyers as well, and
Sure,
everything. So.
sure. No, that makes total sense. Are you seeing, being a new construction, are you seeing more demand for spec homes right now or build to suite homes?
I would definitely say spec homes just because they're move-in ready, like 30 days is a good time frame to expect.
Sure.
Spec like ground up, pick a lot, customizations could take about 9 months to a year plus,
Sure.
right? So
Yeah. So a lot of the people that are moving into your community now, are they coming from a rental situation? Like, is this going to be like their first home, or are they selling a home to move to your neighborhood?
mostly first-time home buyers. We do have like some of my buyers did sell their home and are buying with us now. So mostly first-time home buyers
Okay.
though. So.
Yeah. What's been the biggest demand for your neighborhood? Has it been more like high-end finishes, smart home tech at a higher price point, or has it been more like smaller homes with like first time, or like more affordable home buyers?
I definitely say more affordable with the options we have. Also quality as well. So we're backed by Ashton Woods as our parent company. So mixing the good prices with the quality makes a big difference for our
Yeah.
community.
No, that makes total sense. Um, what are some of the common what are some of the common objections and concerns that you're seeing from home buyers right now?
Right now, like leases, right? If a lease is up, 6 months or maybe a year out, there's usually like a penalty from like a landlord or an apartment manager. So, just helping overcome that. Or buyers looking at options, right? They come see some of our homes and they want to see other options, and we totally get that. I know for me, like I tell my buyers, I'm like, hey, we might be the builder for you, we might not,
Right.
right? So I want to make sure you walk out of here with more information that you came in with,
Sure.
just to help out with
How
everything.
many do you know how many roundabout builders are in this specific area, or is it just you guys?
Yeah, I'd say there's about 8 builders,
Okay.
around here. So we're growing, developing things like that.
Sure.
So yeah, yeah.
Sure. And then how are you guys structuring incentives right now? Are people looking for more like rate buy downs, or are they looking for like closing cost assistance? Are they trying to negotiate more for like upgrades in the home?
I definitely say like more on the cost side of things. Saving money as far as like down payment. We have a couple zero down options we can do. Our community is USDA, so that's
Okay.
zero down. Veterans are always zero down.
Sure.
Also with our lender, we do a low interest rate down payment assistance program, things like that. Also closing costs depends on the offer and things like that. Price incentives could change, but typical about $10,000 we contribute towards closing
Oh yeah,
costs.
that's
So
great. That's
yeah,
great. So they can get into this neighborhood, pretty low money down. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, that's awesome for a first-time home buyer.
Mhm.
What are some of the common misconceptions you feel when people have when they walk into your office to buy new construction?
Um, I would say, hmm, that's a good question. I think a lot of buyers can be, a little more conservative as far as like, hey, you walk into a home, it might be your first time learning about the process, so they might not want to buy today, kind
Sure.
of thing. That's totally fine. I know a bunch of my home buyers, they take some time to think about it and things like that. I'm here to walk them through the entire process. So
Sure.
usually, after they come see me, they don't have any other questions. They're
Yeah.
ready to go today.
Sure.
So
So
yeah.
you kind of help them make the process a little bit more intimidating than what they built up in their head.
Exactly,
Yeah.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's some of those like, you see homes, you're looking at options, it could be very overwhelming for a first time home
Sure.
buyer.
So
So
you
we
try to
we
make it a little bit more relaxing. I guess like there might be a stigma around where it feels like they're walking into a car dealership,
not
or
at
like,
all,
yeah,
not at all.
yeah,
Yeah, just a conversation. Like I said, if we're the builder for you, great. If not, that's okay.
yeah, awesome. Yeah, I love that mentality. I try to come with like a very like low pressure, to where it's more of like giving value and having a conversation, a little bit more of like an educational standpoint than a sales pitch.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that. How can real estate agents such as myself best support you beyond bringing buyers?
Absolutely. So we do a lot of social media as well. Not as much as y'all.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
trying to get there. But I do a lot of videos promoting our inventory, incentives, things like that. So just reposting and collaborating like we are right now is really the best way we can help each other out.
sure.
So.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's a great idea. What type of agents do you prefer working with? What makes the relationship easier on your end?
Great question. So I'd say agents who build that relationship and trust the process.
Yeah.
So I've helped in the past 6 months. I've either helped or currently helping 22 buyers in our community in
Wow.
the last 6 months. So over half, I say the majority have been with realtors.
Yeah.
So just understanding the process, trusting the process. I'm going to have you on all the communication
Sure.
with your buyer. So it builds trust and a communication with everybody. We're on the same team, right?
Yes,
So we're all trying to
absolutely.
help each other out, get your buyer into that home.
Sure.
So,
Sure. Any fun stories about working with a realtor you can think of
ooh,
off the top of your head?
um, not gonna mention names. There has been some challenging, realtors and things like that. As we're people,
Yeah.
right? So there's been some fun ones. There's been some challenging ones. But something just overall is like I love what I do. And it's fun, collaborating with different personalities.
Yeah.
And yeah, just seeing how we can help the buyers the best.
Yeah.
So.
So when an agent walks into your model home, what would be the best case scenario of how that conversation goes outside of I have an all cash buyer? Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, for sure. That's ideal, right?
Yeah.
But it's not what we see most of the time,
Yeah.
right? So, yeah, just building that relationship, seeing what our incentives are, and things like that, how we can help you as an agent.
Sure.
It's a lot easier for you to bring buyers when you know you're going to be taken care of,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Because I
And
know that's something like a lot of agents don't. I think a lot of agents don't really know what questions to ask the builder as well, as far as incentives, because that just makes it more appealing to your buyers, right?
yeah.
When you're also educated about the product.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, what is your preferred way for agents to stay updated on new releases and incentives that the community has to offer?
Great question. So I actually do market updates for all my realtors via text, email, or both.
Okay.
I try to get those out 2 to 3 times a week. So updated incentives for your buyers, hot home prices. We've seen up to $75,000 off on
Yeah.
some of our homes. So
Wow.
not a guarantee, but we do have, depending on the time of year, the season, end of the month, things like that. Some really great incentives going on.
Yeah.
So I keep all my agents updated via text or email
Sure.
as soon as possible.
Yeah.
So.
No, that's great. So, when an agent walks into your office, I've heard from some of the other new builders that we talked about that agents will just come in, completely ignore the builder, and just show photos of the home,
Mm.
instead of trying to like actually build the relationship. So that I like that you harped on that before, because part of this is, you know, one helping people guide through this process of not being intimidated to walk through, but also educational for agents to say like, hey, this is how we can be better, to represent our industry as well.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely,
yeah.
yeah.
So, yeah, if you could change one thing with all that being said about how agents interact with builders, what would it be?
Um, I'd say just communication is always better,
Yeah,
so whether it's in emails or text or things like that.
sure.
So just supporting your buyers, as I know you guys already do,
Yeah,
right? And so just keeping that communication, it's always better to have no update and tell the buyer than have the buyer call us,
right.
right? So just keeping open communication and just really helping each other out and help the buyer understand, like, hey, we're on the same team here. I'm trying to help you get into the home.
Sure.
So
Yeah. So it's pretty simple. Like do our job.
yeah, yeah,
If we're gonna be a resource, then be the resource.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Cool. All right, Noah. I appreciate you meeting with us.
Yeah. Thank you
Cool.
so much.
Thanks,
Appreciate it.
man.